Hello, Chris Pascal. Why you should never give up in business. Recently, Bernard Matthews, the founder of the great turkey business, died. Now, reading his obituary in the Telegraph was quite an interesting story. Many people think of Bernard Matthews as a very successful businessman. He was, but that hadn't always been the case, which is very similar to what happens with a lot of business people when they start off in business. Bernard Matthews did 2 years national service and then decided he wanted to go into business. He bought his first, or started his first business with £2.50, and he bought 20 turkey eggs at auction with a paraffin oil heater. What he hadn't bargained for, he hadn't taken into account he would need money for the feed, to feed the turkeys. So that business failed. He wasn't put off by the first business failure. He started again and he bought another lot of turkeys. Now the wind damaged the sheds that the turkeys were housed in, and all the turkeys escaped, so he lost that business. Now most people after starting two businesses would have got a bit fed up and thought, I'm not going to try anymore. Bernard Matthews wasn't put off, and later he borrowed from the bank £2,500 to buy Great Witchington Hall in Norfolk. It had 80 rooms, and he thought this was a cheaper option of buying a building to house turkeys. Not many people would buy a hall to house turkeys, but he did, because it was the cheapest option at that point. He had the turkeys hatching in some of the rooms. He used the kitchen as a slaughterhouse, while him and his wife used one of the bedrooms. Later he bought some redundant airfields and he built some turkey sheds. Now his business went from strength to strength, and in 1991 the business went public. Disaster struck in 2007 with bird flu, and 160,000 birds had to be slaughtered. But in the main, Bernard Matthews had a very successful business. But when we start in business, or when we have a business, it isn't always plain sailing, and I think reading a Bernard Matthews story, that brought it home to me. We sometimes have highs and we sometimes have lows. But what is interesting about being in business, you are your own boss, you make your own decisions, which you can't do when you're working with somebody or working for somebody. But if anybody is thinking about setting up in business, please, don't be frightened if you fail at the first attempt. Many successful business people have failed at the first attempt, the second attempt, and Bernard Matthews, it took him 3 times to be successful. What I would suggest, if anybody is thinking of setting up business or have failed once, look at a business where you have a mentor. Mentoring is a way forward in business today. Many sports people have mentors. So please look at a business that has got a mentor, because what that will help you, or how it will help you, is develop your business much quicker. We recently started our internet marketing business, and one of the reasons we knew the internet was the way forward, but we didn't know the right way to go about it. So we got a mentor from day one, helped us to do the right things and not to do the wrong things. And we're also now part of the Six Figure Mentors group, another mentoring community. So if you are thinking about setting up in business, I wish you well, but please look for a business that's got a mentor. Many thanks.